When you forget yourself in the chest of a man who was never really yours, or lose yourself in bed sheets that wage war to defile you, and find yourself trapped in a cage of empty promises and blackmail, but you'd rather stay than battle to leave because you have no more fight, and refuge elsewhere is all but a myth, and you cannot kneel down to pray because this ground here is all too familiar. And you've given yourself over one too many times of offering, so then stand and whisper your supplications, though it seems insane to fathom that even the echoes of your pain are heard by this God. When you forget yourself in the chest of a man who was never really yours, or lose yourself in bed sheets that wage war to defile you, and find yourself trapped in a cage of empty promises and blackmail, but you'd rather stay than battle to leave because you have no more fight, and refuge elsewhere is all but a myth, and you cannot kneel down to pray because this ground here is all too familiar, and you've given yourself over one too many times as offering, so stand and whisper your supplications, though it may seem insane to fathom that even the echoes of your pain are heard by this God. Thank you.
Ooh, oh, wow.
This is called Oakland. Oakland is a city in the state of California in the US, and yeah, you guys good? Yeah, okay. I wonder, I should prefer not to indulge too much, dream too much, canvas and paint, but if I could, but for a moment, the ocean would be as long as a dying stream, and plane rides would go as quickly as they came, and in Oakland, we would drink cream whipped hot chocolate, large, on an autumn evening in Costa because Starbucks could kick rocks, and our hands would intertwine like old rope. Those hands would not be undone. Our words would ebb and flow. Our worlds would ebb and flow. I'd love you an inch further every time you'd quote Chimamanda, and hiking the highest mountains in Hollywood before dawn to watch the daybreak. Our prayers would be tiny revolutions, tugging at God's ears to be heard. I'd clasp your past and secrets to my chest, covering every scar in gratitude and a hope. We are callous and strategic. I would sing melodies of worship in Yoruba, and you would teach me the Afrikaans and Swahili. You knew your passion for humanity would continue to be my muse and inspiration, and secretly I'd envy you. Your ability to convert the aura of a day with your smile, deep as sand at the bottom of an hourglass. We'd make a second home of airports and skies. Perhaps we'd co-author a book one day. Justice and truth would be the mantra. Christ would be the praxis. This space we'd create here would be a safe haven. There are no censors. We'd build constantly. Our blackness be celebrated. Melanin for the win. Yes, you would grease my scalp listening to Black Messiah if you please. Our music collection would be a maze of discography, begging for order. Nina, Fela, Wiz, Marley, Dahlstrom, Cooper. Our ancestry is giant. Your arrogance, my pride, our egos would clash often. Our voices would storm, his voice would still, and we would cling. Even time zones and plane tickets would grow tiresome. We'd war and summon peace. Small triumphs would mean the most. I would worry about your wandering eye and honey-glazed tongue. You would fear the Jericho wall blockading my heart. Blocking you out and not making it another year would leave us sick with angst. But trust would come to know her place in time. We'd read Achebe and Morrison silently in our study room across from each other on rustic wooden floors. I would document the tapestry of our life in poems. We would dance and goof and cry and laugh and sweat and make love like tomorrow was a word unlearned. Pouring and refining this revolutionary love, raising a revolutionary home with offspring birthed from this, reminding me that heaven can be here. The middle name of our daughter would be my mother's. Can I call this gluttonous romance? No, because this kind of love now lives here. Thank you. So my final piece is called Renewal Part 1, because there's a Part 2, but I don't know when it's gonna come. But yeah, and I hope y'all can identify with this at some point. Yeah. Redemption, restoration. I am clothed in them because of you. I am housed in them because of you. Redemption, restoration. I am clothed in them because of you. I am housed in them because of you. You are a God who swoops these anguish-induced tears into your palms. You collect the shards of my broken, scattered, dismantling, distorted versions of love, rebuilding this exhausted, age-old infrastructure around this soul. I am buried in joy because of you. I am drowning in grace because of you. How has a love this grandeur sought after me? When my days and nights run into each other like waves and are one and the same, dark and hopeless and wanting, and this heaviness threatens to awaken my grave, bring her here before due time, and my tongue is my demise, a toxic, constantly destroying the houses I've built. So no, I am not that virtuous woman, yet you persist in calling me worthy. I am suffocating in mercy because of you. I am sinking in peace because of you. Do you not understand how disqualified I am to be a recipient of this here love? If my doubt were personified, I wouldn't exist. And for too long I've called fear home and betrayal as my second language, so please pardon me if you sense some resistance here. As you daily overwhelm in this love, crashing over me like raging oceans, I can be rest assured that you also will save me before it's too late. I am barricaded in this love because of you. I am crippling in this unconditional because of you. And on the brink of every sunrise, I ask myself, how has a love this grandeur sought after me? Thank you.